So in case you're wondering what that noise was, yeah, the fan blades ripped themselves apart on this side. That's pretty bad.
That moment when you rolled up driving while carrying 2 cups of coffee would have been the perfect one, like in a meme when, you know, they put the like pixely sunglasses over your face. Today we are installing a new condensing fan motor as well as a replacement condensing fan motor blade. Should be kind of interesting. So this motor is bad, was bad, right?
Yep.
This fan was bad. Are we gonna use...
It shredded itself and broke 2 of the brackets, which they repaired and back on.
So this motor works though still, right?
Yeah, so I was just gonna leave it.
So we'll leave that motor. When it's a unit that was made 32 years ago, it's like on the bubble. You could replace it or not.
The motor?
I mean, as
Probably
far as...
should replace it, but the owners don't want us to do anything that is unnecessary.
Yeah,
They
so...
hardly want us to put refrigerant back in it.
So basically, yeah, we're doing the absolute minimum to make it work, which includes using a blade that we had available to us, but it's not the exact replacement. So it might not be 100%.
It should move a similar CFM because the blades are a bit wider.
Okay, and it looks like the other one was too wide anyway.
You want to see how many leaks I fixed yesterday?
Yeah,
So, because of the vibration, well, somebody had put a piece of foam between these 2 lines
Oh, to keep it from rubbing?
keep it from rubbing, and then it rubbed through the foam,
Right away.
and so it broke this line open. This line was bulging, like it had rubbed through, and then the copper had stretched.
It hadn't leaked
upward,
yet?
and it hadn't leaked yet. So this circuit still had refrigerant. This is the one installed in 1997.
Oh,
so I think this is the newer one.
It's a new compressor.
So I brazed shut the leak here. There was
Yep.
no refrigerant in this circuit because of this leak.
Yep.
And then because of all the vibration from that fan blade being broken, so it broke this copper line, and this was the circuit that still had refrigerant, so it was leaking out. So I fixed 4 leaks. Well, 3 for sure leaks, 1 about to be a leak.
Yep.
About to be a big leak.
Other people have repaired leaks before too.
In 03.
2003.
I left about 3 psi in each side. If it's 3 psi, I'm not doing any more leak checking.
Uh-oh. That's fine. That's the same as 3.
Pretty much. When I was taking off the hose, I accidentally left this valve open, so it actually let some refrigerant out of which side?
Oh, that one's really good.
4.9. So now we need to pull a vacuum on them, because the pressure that's in there, I took out of the recovery machine, because you can't save that bit of refrigerant that's in the recovery machine. It's a necessary loss considered by the EPA.
Yep.
So it's okay, I just let it into the system, and then now we're going to let it there.
Right. This is the vacuum pump. This is just the one that we're using today. Is there power here? Can I plug this in?
This 30-year-old Schrader valve leaks for some reason. So we should replace that too.
The core? Yeah. Good idea. Wow, that doesn't smell good. Can you smell that? It smells a little burnt.
They still work though.
Old refrigeration guys can tell if refrigerant is good just based on the smell of it. They're like, well, did it smell burnt?
That stuff will give you Alzheimer's 6 times quicker.
Most of the refrigeration guys that we know of that are no longer with us all went like crazy. They went crazy and then they died.
And the reason why we keep saying this is because we can't remember if we told you or not.
Yeah, we can't remember if we told you that, so now you know.
That stuff will give you Alzheimer's 6 times quicker. As you can see, I just welded the brackets. I think they look really good.
Want me to hammer that down?
Yeah, maybe. Am I gonna be stuck in here now?
Yeah. We'll just add it as a line item on the bill. 1 Reuben.
There's a lot of space in here actually. So if you're a homeless guy and you can jump through fan blades fast,
or you know how to turn the disconnect off first.
Yeah, these are not fun to wrangle by yourself.
Oh, the plugs are on the wrong end.
They're actually in both ends.
Well, they're only on one end.
Really?
So right there where I'm pointing with that pinky, that's the condensation plug we're talking about. And that condensation plug needs to be removed on whichever side of the motor is facing down. So in this case, the new motor came with the condensation plugs installed on the back side of the motor, or the side that doesn't
reverse
have the
shaft
shaft. Yeah, the reverse shaft end. Did you try using? Oh, the ratchet's too fat.
Ratchet's too fat. Yep.
Hear that gear wrench? Make the other end not as fat.
Yeah.
Hear that, Harbor Freight? We can see you right over there. Do you guys like Harbor Freight, or do you think it's a hoax?
Well, yesterday I needed something to measure the angle on the blade.
Oh, yeah.
And Dad said, "Oh, just drive to the Harbor Freight that you can see and buy an angle thing." I went to Menards. I didn't go to Harbor Freight.
Don't bump this, okay?
Wire strippers.
Yep. Ooh, this is cool.
I'm gonna use them to cut this bolt.
Never been used before. It's a little stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, they look really beefy. Did you
Diamond
confirm, is this blue wire the one we're abandoning?
I'm gonna confirm that right now.
Definitely didn't bump your GoPro.
All right, so we're tracing this wire here, and Reuben's like, it's a blue wire, and I'm like, well, up here there's a purple one, so look, the same wire goes up into there, and it's completely purple up in the cabinet, but it's totally blue.
They should have known that pigment would fade after 30 years. How's the vacuum, by the way?
Oh, 386 microns. That's
What?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Really?
385 now. Minus 29.9.
My pages.
So,
Are all the valves open?
that's such a good, there's not much smoke coming out of it either.
That's really incredible. I feel like I don't get that on new systems.
Oh, so the purple is a continuous hot because it's being fed from like the common terminal essentially.
Okay, so this is correct then.
So the blue one is actually one of the hot leads.
Oh, okay.
The brown one is the capacitor.
Which one's brown?
Oh, wow, it was brown up there, down here it's gray.
So
It's gray.
I need to abandon this one.
Yeah, abandon the gray one. Or we can move the capacitor back here and use it. Over there, the one that is the white, with the white on it, goes to the same place as one of the two power leads. So, do you want to do that? Should we insulate the brown white and put the capacitor back here in the cabinet?
Sure.
We can look at the wiring diagram on the side to make sure I'm correct. So I'll get this spot ready in here. That's pretty much it, right, for electrical there?
Yep.
So the only reason that we would need to do anything else would be to switch these two wires for reversing their rotation. I'm shutting off the vacuum pump. I shut the valve off here, so
Close this one too, if you want to.
So I'll explain this a little bit more here. You can see how we have two wires on this side. That means that this is the power feeding into the capacitor. So essentially this is similar to like a common terminal block on a dual capacitor. And then the other side where the single wire is going out, we know that that was our capacitor wire going to the actual fan motor. So we're just gonna make sure we hook it up in the same way. And it looks like our original capacitor is a 10 UF 440 volt. And our new one here we're putting in is a 10 MFD 370 because the new motor doesn't require it to be 440. It doesn't matter which side these wires go on the capacitor as long as I hook them up the same as far as having our purple wire and our red wire next to each other. We successfully covered up our wiring diagram on that thing. It kind of talks about it here. Striped brown, brown. Yeah, so it's saying that our capacitor can be here, or you can use that to power it.
The inside of it needs to clean out a little bit. We're only allowed to have one piece of emery paper per year.
Yeah, 6 inches per year. There's like a roll of it. It's kept in a safe at the shop.
I remember when I got in trouble on the job once.
For wasting it?
Well, I thought I was in trouble for wasting it. So I ripped a piece off. It's about 4 inches long. I was working for a grumpy customer. He came over and took off like a 12-inch piece and said, "Use that." So I was in trouble for taking too small of a piece.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're rolling it up and then you're going to use it to clean up the inside of that?
Yep, you roll it up and then you let it expand in there and then you twist it.
Why don't you just use like one of those wire brush things?
That's there in the van.
Which is really far away. Let me show you. 407 steps away, right over there. Did you notice how this has a spring that's built into it that you can't see?
I didn't look at the mechanics of it. I did enjoy the spring. I was kind of bothered by that like cliff that you have to overcome
To get into the cutter part, yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose it's for cutting larger cables, keeps the wires tight.
Or maybe for like when you're stripping the wire so you don't accidentally slip the wire all the way back into there. Yeah, that's the main reason though when you're cutting bigger ones, so it doesn't like push it out as you're squeezing.
That looks much better.
This is going to be better than it was in order to get the unit up and running, but replacing this with the blade that's slightly wider would make this fan a lot more efficient. The distance from here to here does matter.
Because it was so hot, so they're losing money, so we need to get it fixed. Like
right. The fact that it's going to be up and running will save them a lot of money, and then they'll have the option of us bringing back a correct blade once we get that in, if they want it, which that's up to them. So they're fiscally conservative.
This tool is for tightening square things.
Oh yeah.
In case you didn't know that there's actually a thing for that.
Don't they specifically call this a refrigeration wrench? I think.
Do they?
Yeah, I think she searched that. But it's for the king valves, which I have a video about king valves. They all have a stem that sticks out that's square. And so this is the wrench you want for that, and it has the different sizes. If you see this in a person's like tool bag, it probably means that they are a refrigeration guy. Oh yeah, actually, so in order to have it be extra powerful, we put 2 blades on there, and then we just plug the other hole, and that fan will move twice as much air.
Yep.
I think. Put it on there. Which direction does it need to spin?
It needs to spin this way.
It needs to spin clockwise would be the standard rotation. Counterclockwise, sorry. So counterclockwise rotation lead end means clockwise this up here.
It's going counterclockwise lead end. That's gonna be like this.
Yeah, but you're looking at the lead end, remember?
This is the lead end.
I know, but not as we're looking at it. This is counterclockwise shaft end. Counterclockwise lead end is this way. Clockwise rotation lead end would be this way. So it's already in the correct orientation. So if you're right, then it's gonna spin the wrong way. If I'm right, it's gonna spin the right way.
Let me see. So
I know that Dad, he doesn't do that at all. That's a complete waste of time. He just turns it on to see if it's right or not. All right, so we are ready to test it, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much. All right, go ahead. Oh, are you pushed in both of them?
Yeah,
When you add refrigerant to a system that you just pulled everything from, you can just dump most of the refrigerant right into the high side. I like to dump at least half of the charge in before I start it.
Right.
Because it takes a long time if you're adding it into the low side, especially when you're this close to the compressor. It takes a long time to get all the rest of the charge in because you don't want to let too much in and wreck your compressor.
So put about half the charge in liquid form into the high side of the system before turning it on, and then once you get it turned on, then we'll add the rest of the charge through the low side nice and slowly so that we don't flood the compressor with liquid refrigerant or slug the compressor, which we don't want to do. I've heard some old school technicians say that if you turn on the refrigerant to a system that is empty and you just let it fill onto the liquid side until it stops, that's about the right amount of refrigerant for that system. Now, I've never tested that, but apparently that's a thing. But that's not what we're doing today. We're going based off of the nameplate charge right down in there, so we'll be following whatever that says.
9.6 ounces. I mean 9 pounds, 0.6.
9 pounds, 6 ounce? 9 pounds?
9 pounds, 0.6. So 0.6 of a pound.
Yeah.
4 ounces.
Oh, that's stupid. I hate it when they do that.
Me too. Come on, guys. 9 pounds, 6 ounces, and 2/3. 1 ounce.
I don't know why that other one didn't start. So I need to examine the wiring and make sure that it's all good. Black and white, 208, 230. Brown and striped brown. So I think I want to look at this motor.
I'm gonna just power it up then and wait for it to start. This one for that compressor.
Oh, don't use that. Or you can actually.
It's an insulated screwdriver.
I know. I just like using stuff with non-metallic tip.
You know what our friend the electrician does?
Does he use his finger?
Yeah, Jesse.
Are you kidding me?
He's like, stuck his finger right on it. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous.
But he gets shocked a lot, so.
Yeah, some people do. The other one's not running. So we figured out what the deal is with this motor. Basically,
The side the capacitor's pulling its power from.
needs to be the same as one of the leads, one of the two leads. So if you get it mixed up, then it won't work. Yeah, push in that contactor again. It also didn't spin. So I went ahead and pulled the motor out so I get a picture of this label, and the main issue was that the control board wasn't sending power to the motor yet. So I think we actually had it correct in the first place. You can see right here, this designates exactly what everything is. And right down here, it specifically says optional 3-wire connection, brown, white, stripe, insulate. So that's what we did. And we used the brown wire, and over here it has the diagram for connecting our capacitor, and you can see brown right there on one side of the capacitor and white on the other side, and it specifically designates L2 right here. See this, Reuben? Black is L1, it's telling us. So up here at the top you can see we've got our 208, 230 coming in on L1 and L2, and it designates those as being black and white. Whichever leg is deemed the white leg is the one that we want to power that capacitor. So you have to verify that the power that's powering the capacitor is the same as L2. So I had switched those two wires, so right now the white is connected to the black, and the black is being fed from that relay. The power feeding this relay right here is the opposite leg of what the capacitor is right now. So I gotta switch those wires back because the red one in here is feeding the capacitor, which should also be feeding the white wire going to the motor. We had it right to begin with.
Yay!
Stupid relay. Now I get to try to put this thing back in again. Oh, did you fix the faucet or whatever?
No.
That's not where you were. That'll be a subsequent trip, right?
Yeah.
You gotta get a plumber over here.
Yep.
The vacuum test passed on the second circuit, so that is just finished being charged up. Pretty much finished, right?
Yeah, we should be able to. Oh, I see a little bit of liquid came out, and it's still on its way out.
Here, press a little straighter thing.
It got cold quick. This Schrader valve should be replaced at some point. Careful. Yeah, I should double wrench that one. Woo. I almost died in the basement working on the heat pump because it was spraying liquid out everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, and I was trying to get it stopped because I just put all the refrigerant.
And it's toxic.
It's toxic, yeah. And so you're like laying on the floor in a not well ventilated, cramped area with your head inside of a cabinet that's spraying gases that are filling the basement, pushing all the oxygen above your head. It was bad.
That's scary. And it's moments like those when you probably should like get up and just leave it and go outside. But you feel so desperate to fix it that you will just stay there and die.
You're like counting dollars as they come out.
Look at the clouds. They're really pretty today.
Oh, look, ozone. I wonder how that got there.
Oh, nothing to see here.
All right, well, it should start whenever it's ready.
Yep.
We should make sure no tools are gonna fall in.
Gotta straighten this out here. It got crooked somehow. So these fans are set to come on at any moment.
Which is a great time to put the covers on.
Right. So this should go any second. You need to go tell that lady, air conditioner won't come on, it's not hot enough down here.
Yeah, I got threatened. She said that if we don't get the air conditioner going, then I'm gonna go home in a body bag.
I mean, they should be glad that we're here, right?
She said she was saying it in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, so we're hoping it's gonna work, otherwise it's the end of the road for Reuben. So our vapor saturation temperature right now is 78.
Are you still needing to measure something there?
I'm just gonna measure the fan to make sure that it comes on, or to make sure that there's no voltage when that one doesn't come on initially.
I like these little clamp adapters.
Yeah.
You should be able to order those for mine, right?
Yeah, you can. There's just a field piece accessory kit that you can order. I'll link in the description. But I think most of you guys use Fluke meters, right? But I like Field Piece. They've been great.
Field Piece forces you to actually do your job. You can't just say it was a fluke.
Yeah. They kind of seem a little bit like Snap-on though. Like they're like really good supposedly. They cost like a lot. I don't know. But if you're listening to this Fluke, you're still welcome to sponsor the channel. Number 1, can you check voltage? 212 volts. Is it running? It's running.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going the correct direction too, so I was right. I mean, you were right too. So yeah, we got her put back together here, so we'll wait for the second circuit to come on and then go from there. Our second circuit just came on, so that's working. Our pressures...
Oh, it did come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that sounds.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I thought you meant it was this one.
No. So right now we're monitoring both circuits at the same time using the high and low side, but it's isolated in the middle.
It's open here, see?
I know, but you want it to be isolated, don't you?
Oh, I'm closing this valve.
But you could check them both at once if you just close these valves. With doing this, we can read the pressures of the two systems at the same time, but since this digital gauge gives us the vapor saturation temperature, it's only going to give us the proper conversion on the low side. On the high side over here, it's giving us a liquid saturation even though we're connected to the low side.
That number is actually the same. How much vibration there is on this line.
Oh man. Look at those. Are these getting rubbed through?
Looks like they have been touching it historically.
They're getting close. You should put some electric tape around those.
I want to minimize the vibration on that. I know it's going to bust somewhere, but...
That'll help.
It does nothing.
That'll make the next guy scratch his head.
Oh, I'm already scratching my head. Look how much tape there is. Not from me. Look at all this.
Yeah, I don't
What are
know.
they doing?
Must have been like taping.
Temperature probes?
Oh, maybe. I bet that's what it was, yeah. So we got everything done. Everything is good to go. So for another day, for another month, for another year, hopefully, Hardee's will be good to go with no problems. We're at Home Depot. We found this hand soap. Hand soap for a gallon of it. $1.
Normally 25.
That's ridiculous. How many are you getting?
I'll get 2.
Okay. I'm getting the rest. Oh, you can have one.
I've got the hand
You
sanitizer.
should get one so that Ben's not buying 7.
Yeah, otherwise we'll be in trouble.
Oh.
We finally made it back. It's actually pretty late. It's dark outside, but it was kind of a fun day working on those few different projects. So hope you guys enjoyed coming along on that service call. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to go on more service calls in the future? Should we do this as kind of a more regular occurrence where we go out and video the day's happenings and send it over to you guys so you can check out just kind of the things that we encountered. Today was pretty interesting, the different things that we had to fix. So thankfully it all went well and we were able to get everything up and running. Thanks a ton for watching and we'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.